Today we have Byron King, who has been a friend of mine for a long time and has multiple career paths converging into this conversation. So I want to start off, first of all, just by welcoming you, Byron. Thanks for joining me. Back in the day, you and I would have conversations about what is commonly known as the old right, which are they were the conservatives who were in power a little bit. They were never very powerful because they didn't want to be, but they were elderly statesmen between like 1910 and probably like the mid 60s before the Johnson era, right?
Right.
And there were some very important writers at that time. Garrett was one of them. John T. Flynn, which you and I have talked about a lot. But there are some things going on in politics right now that look like the 1930s. There are insurrections happening, and there are writers who are trying to do one thing that Roosevelt tried to do, which was stack the court in 1937 because he couldn't get his Depression era, his plans, he couldn't get them passed because they were seen as too totalitarian. Right. And if you look at the way people are criticizing Trump these days, a lot of the same things are being said. But at the same time, we just had one of the justices die, which could shift the court to a more conservative side. And we're heading into the election era, and it's possible that Biden could win. And they promised already to stack the court. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because I know that you and I have talked about in the past. Flynn and Garrett both covered the stacking of the court in 1937. And there's nothing in the Constitution that says that we need to have 6 or 9 or 12 justices. So that's an era. I think we're going to enter into a period in our political history where we're going to start questioning our Constitution in a way that we haven't for 80 years.
Oh yeah, the Constitution is what it is. It says what it says with the amendments and everything else. You can read the text. You can go to the National Archives. You can look through the glass, which is about like that thick, and you can see the original document. But oh my goodness, the argument is that it evolves over time. People talk about the living, breathing Constitution. The answer to that is that the Constitution says what it says, but you guys on the living, breathing side, it only lives and breathes in one direction, which is like your direction. And as soon as you get what you want, boom, it's not a living, breathing document anymore. And we can give a whole lot of constitutional type things that that are not we're not supposed to regress from, which gets you into the whole Amy Barrett thing. Although that too, and some. People say, "Oh, it's all about abortion." They want to make it all about abortion. Roe v. Wade was all about the Supreme Court taking the power away from 50 states to set their own laws on a particular issue. And and I'm not going to even say what the issue is because everybody knows it's the A issue. But forget the A issue aspect. It's that Roe v. Wade said, 50 states, we don't care what your legislatures do. We don't care what your voters do. We don't care what your governors do. Boom, we're gonna federalize it, and we're gonna federalize it through a penumbra to the Constitution. It's not really written into the Constitution, but we think it is, and we think it is because we have the black robes and you don't. So that's just one angle of it. It gets back to packing the court in the 1930s in a sense. That Franklin Roosevelt came along. He took office in 1933. What did he do? The first thing he did is he took everybody's gold. He took all the gold out of everybody's pocket. Here, give me your gold, give me your gold. And people were dumb enough, honest enough, silly enough, whatever, to say, oh, okay, here, I'll give you my gold, or I'll give you a $20 bill here, and okay, good. And the gold all got melted down, and theoretically it's in Fort Knox. So they say. I saw the movie Goldfinger, and and even then they took all the gold. And
well, in a real sense, they took gold from individuals. They didn't take it from banks.